I was tired of all the work my boss kept piling up on my desk and stressed from always being behind on my bills, so I decided to sell my house and move into a small cabin in the woods. I brought only the things that I thought were necessary since I would be living off the land and hunting for my food. I had just moved into the cabin and it needed a lot of work. It was very old and run down, so I would fix it up in the time that I stayed there. I had brought some water and food, but it would run out soon, so I would then need to start hunting and I would have to set up a rain collection system for fresh drinking water. I had no electricity there, so I couldn't call for anybody or use any lights, so I had candles instead. After around a month of living there, I started to get used to it, though I was starting to get a little lonely and was wondering if moving out there was the right decision, but I stayed anyway. I only had a bow which I brought from my other house and arrows that I had made from sticks and flint for hunting, which was very boring to make all of them, but it was worth it when it was time to hunt. My aim with the bow was awful the first week, but I was starting to get used to it. I was starting to lose track of the days and was getting very bored often just going through my days on autopilot, until I started to notice odd occurrences. While I was hunting, I had seen a dead deer that was attacked by some creature, but what was strange was that whatever had gotten the deer had left most of it left, but I just figured that it was some wolves that were scared off mid-meal. When I got closer, I saw a human footprint in the ground next to the deer, which made me really confused since the nearest house was miles away. I completely lost track of how long I have been out here, but now I have started to hear noises. Inside of the house, in the middle of the night, I will hear something moving around inside of the walls, which I assume is just rats crawling around. I need to get rid of them soon since I am losing sleep over the noise, but I don't know how to get to them or what to get rid of them with. I started to make cages to trap the rats in, but I don't have anything to lure them with. I later went down the river close to the cabin and was fishing when I caught a bass with my last worm. I brought it up to the cabin, and as the sun was setting, I prepared it by chopping it up and cutting off the flakes. That was when I heard howling behind the cabin, so I grabbed my axe and went to go check it out. I saw a pack of wolves that had just taken down a deer, and I quietly walked back to the fish. When I got there, I noticed that the knife I had used to prepare the fish was missing. I took the rat cages and some small pieces of liver to lure and trap the rats in because they were starting to drive me crazy. I walked around everywhere looking for a place that I could get into the roof, which was when I found a small tile in the ceiling that didn't fit right. I then grabbed my axe trying to pry it open when a ladder launched out of the ceiling, knocking me down. I picked up the axe and nervously climbed up the ladder. That was when I saw the knife that I had used to chop off the fish with, sitting on a small rocking chair. I walked towards the knife, putting down my axe. I then picked up the knife, and then I turned around and saw myself holding the axe. It looked exactly like me, but it wasn't my reflection. Instead, it was my doppelganger. It then charged at me, wielding the axe above its head, but I jumped out of the way just in time. While I was on the ground, it walked towards me with the axe about to drop it right on me when I lunged at its legs, taking it down. I then jumped down out of the attic, landing hard, and sprinted to the front door, and I tripped on the rug, falling flat on my face. I looked up, and my doppelganger was right on top of me. The door was barricaded, so I couldn't make a break for it, and my doppelganger was just about to take me out with my own axe. Just as the axe was coming down on me, I kicked the desk next to me, knocking it, and the candle on top of it falling onto the rug, instantly igniting it into flames. I jumped up, but there was still no escape, so I sprinted full speed into the window, diving right through it, smashing through the glass, ignoring the pain and not looking behind for my doppelganger. I landed on the ground on fire with tons of glass shards in my skin. I rolled around in the dirt, putting out the fire. I then stood up and I heard the piercing demonic screams coming from my doppelganger. After this incident, I was hospitalized for a week, suffering from the burns and the glass shard cuts. I moved into a small house in a nice little neighborhood and found a job that I actually like. But the memory of that night forever haunts me, still giving me nightmares to this day.